So next what we're going to do, we're going to go over the three aspects of Tauheed. Okay, because again, Tauheed is extensive. You understand Tauheed, then everything else with regards to the deen is easy. Right? Because it all goes back to Tauheed. Right? Even in the Fatiha, we have Tauheed. Right? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We bear witness that we say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise is due to Allah, Rabbil Alameen, the Lord, the fashioner, sustainer of all that exists. That's Tauheed. Right? And so we're going to the three aspects of Tauheed. The first aspect is Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah. Okay? Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah. And this comes from the word Rabb, what we just talked about, which means Lord. So Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah, as we know, Tauheed means the oneness, proclaiming the oneness. Right? So Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah means the oneness or the application of Allah's oneness in His Lordship. His Lordship. So this is one of the aspects of Tauheed. Another aspect of Tauheed, and we'll just do like this. Tauheed. Another aspect of Tauheed is Tauheedul Uloohiyyah. Uloohiyyah. Alright? Some say Abdul-Walee. Ruboobiyyah. Uloohiyyah comes from the word ilaha, which means Godship. Right? And the word Ruboobiyyah comes from the word worship. The oneness in His worship. So the first aspect of Tauheed, or one of the first aspects of Tauheed, is Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah, which is the oneness of Allah's lordship. Tauheedul Uloohiyyah, the oneness of Allah's godship or worship. And the other aspect, or the third aspect, is Tauheedul Asmaa wa Sifaat. Okay? Asmaa is names, Sifaat is attributes. Okay? So these are the three aspects of Tauheed. Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah, Tauheedul Uloohiyyah, or Tauheedul Ubudiyyah, and Tauheedul Asmaa wa Sifaat. Okay, and inshallah we'll discuss each one briefly, inshallah. Again, the word Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah, the oneness of Allah's lordship, and the word is Ruboobiyyah comes from the word Rabb. Right? We say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise, all thanks is due to Allah subhanahu Rabbil Alameen. He is the Lord of everything that exists. We say that Allah is the Lord, we say that He is the sustainer. He is the fashioner. Right? He's the controller. He is the decreer. Okay? He's the sustainer. He's the one that sustains all things. He's the one that gives everything sustenance. He's the Lord of everything that exists. Everything that we can think of, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created that. Everything that we can think of, Allah sustains it. Everything that we can think of, Allah fashioned it. Everything that we can think of, Allah is in control of it. Everything that we can think of, Allah is in decree of it. He is the decree of whatever's going to happen, good or bad. That's Rabbil Alameen. That's Tauheedul Ruboobiyyah. When you understand that everything is by Allah's decree, nothing happens except by Allah's decree, whether it's good or whether it's bad. It's all by Allah's decree. So when we go through trials and tribulations, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said, amazing is the way of the believer, for when they are tested by certain things, number one, they understand it's by the qadr, is by the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is happening because Allah decreed it, because nothing can happen except by Allah's decree, whatever Allah writes down. Right? So the first thing that a believer does when he goes through something or she goes through something, first they understand that this is by the qadr of Allah, this is by the decree. And again, this is part of the 6 articles of faith. Right? Believe in Allah, believe in the angels, the books, right? The messengers, right? Believe in the day of judgment, and believe in the qadr, believe in the decree. Okay? And one of the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with regards to decree, he said that the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, the first thing that Allah created, 50,000 years before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created even the heavens and the earth, was the qalam, was the pen. So the first thing Allah created was the pen, and He told the pen to write down everything that's going to happen. Everything that's going to happen, it was already written down. That's why I said it's been written and the ink has already been dry. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I'm not going to die, it's already been written. If I go outside, and I'm going to get the Cornelius virus, the coronavirus, it's already written. Nothing can happen unless Allah wills. Bi-ithnillah, by the will of Allah. Okay? So this is the decree. So when you know if something happens to, oh, I got hit, Oh, I broke my foot. Oh, I'm sick. Oh, okay, this is by Allah's decree. But what do you do with it? Said amazing is the way of the believer that when they go through something, they understand it's by the qadr of Allah, it's by the decree of Allah, and they are patient with it. When you understand that everything is by the decree of Allah, you are patient with it. You don't complain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when you complain, complain to me. Right? When we go through certain things and we like, we complain to other people, like we start complaining and we bickering and we whining. He said, that's not trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you complain, complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He's the only one that can change it. If you're complaining to someone that can't change it, why are you complaining to them? They have no control of changing it. Okay? So we say Tauheed Ruboobiyyah. We understand that He's the sustainer, the fashioner, the controller, the decreer of all things. Nothing can happen unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills it, because He is Rabbil-Alameen. He's the Lord of all that exists. Okay? Another aspect, Tauheed Uloohiyyah or Tauheed Ubudiyyah, the oneness in Allah's Godship, meaning understanding that He's only one God. And the Ubudiyyah, understanding that all of our worship be for Him, is supposed to be for Him only. When we pray, it's supposed to be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we fast, we're doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're doing it because we believe in Him, we understand His Godship, and we understand that worship is only for Him. Again, using the Fatiha as an example, we already said, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Tauheed Uloohiyyah, right? Ubudiyyah, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. Only you, Ya Allah, we worship. Na'budu, Ubudiyyah, same word. Only you, Ya Allah, we worship, and only you we ask help and assistance, because you're the only one that can do anything about it. So you're the only one that we worship. You're the only one that we bow down to. This is Uloohiyyah, Ubudiyyah. You're the only one that we fast to. You're the only reason why we do certain things. The reason why I control my tongue. The reason why I humble myself. Not because you got away with something. It's because I understand that my worship is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's deeper than somebody else. It's deeper than you. Why do I humble myself? Not because of you. I humble myself because this is part of my worship. Because I'm striving to be a good abd, a good servant. Right? Part of my worship is humbling myself. Right? Even if I'm right, I still humble myself, and I might say, you know what? Okay. Right? Because I'm humbling myself. Okay? This is Tauheed Uloohiyyah. Everything that we do. Right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, even right now, during the month of Ramadan, we're fasting. Why are we fasting? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us to do this. This is part of our worship. This is part of being a good abd. This is part of being a good servant. One who worships properly. I'm doing it because Allah says so. I'm not doing it because the people are watching or I'm worried about what the people will say. I'm doing it because this is something that Allah told me to do. And I know that I'm here. The only reason why I'm here is because He created me to worship Him. So part of my worship is to fast. So guess what? I have to and I will fast. That's part of Tauheed Uloohiyyah and Ubudiyyah. I'm fasting for Him. I'm controlling my tongue for Him. I'm humbling myself for Him. Right? I'm being kind to my wife for Him. I'm obeying my husband because of Him. Because this is part of Tauheed Uloohiyyah Ubudiyyah. Worship. You're doing it for Allah. Why? Because the only reason why I'm here because it's to worship Allah. Part of my worship in Allah still will do what? These things. Okay? So this is Tauheed Uloohiyyah. Even in going to calling out and making dua. Right? We only call out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Catholics, they go to the what they call it, confession box, or what they call it, the confession thing, where they make confessions, right? They talk to a certain priest or something to get forgiveness or whatnot. In Islam, we don't do that. We don't ask nobody, but we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't have to go in between. We don't do intermediaries in Islam. We go straight to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We worship straight to Him. We bow down only to Him. Okay, this is Tauheed Uloohiyyah Ubudiyyah. Okay, another aspect of Tauheed, right, is Tauheed Asmaa wa Sifaat. Okay? Tauheed Asmaa wa Sifaat, which means the oneness in Allah's names and the oneness in Allah's attributes. We say Tauheed Asmaa, we say we believe in the oneness of His names, meaning that we believe in all of His names. We're told in the hadith that it said that Allah has 100 names minus 1, which means 99 names. Although it doesn't mean that He's just limited to those 99 names, but these are the 99 names that He teaches us. Okay? So in believing in the Tauheed of the oneness of his names, we believe in him being Ar-Rahman, right? We believe in him being Al-Rahim. We believe in him being Al-Ghafur. We believe in him being Al-Wadud. He is the loving. He is the merciful. He is the one who returns, who accepts repentance, right? He is the one that blots out sins. We must believe in his names. One of the brothers put it this way. He said, if you believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Ghafur, Al-Wadud, he's oft-forgiving, most merciful. You believe in this. This is an aspect of Tauheed. And you do certain things, right? And you make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? You make tawbah. You turn to him. And one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is At-Tawwab, the one who turns to you or accepts your turning to him. He said, if you believe in his attribute, and Allah says, if you turn to me, right, you will find me all forgiving, most merciful. So if I believe in his attribute of Tauheed, Asmaa wa Sifaat, and I make tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and one of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is At-Tawwab, then I must believe that he will forgive me. You must believe that. This is part of Tauheed. If you deny these attributes, you deny any one of his names or any of the significances of his name, then you deny Tauheed. Another example, Allah says that he forgives all sins except shirk, right? So therefore you might have a pedophile, you might have a homosexual. I'll give you an example. In the pen, we had a homosexual that became Muslim, right? They were like, oh, man, you got that faggot. I'm like, look, man, he took Shahada. Right? They're like, man, ooh. And I'm like, look, man, he took Shahada. I'm not Allah. Allah says he's all forgiving. He's most merciful. He forgives sins. So who am I to put limitations on Allah's forgiveness? I can't do that. So Allah says he'll forgive all sins except shirk. So this goes to the pedophile, the homosexual, the murderer, the whatever, the stealer, the whatever it was, whatever they did. The pimp, the mac, the dope dealer, the whatever. Allah said he'll forgive all of their sins if they make tawbah. So who are we to put limitations on Allah's rahmah? We can't even say, oh man, that person's going to hell. We don't know where they're going. We don't know. Remember the hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said that there will be people who will be doing the actions of the people of the hellfire. But they come an arm's length or a bow's length away from the qadr or from death. And then qadr overtakes them and they start doing the actions of the people of the Jannah. So this person that was doing evil all his life, right before he died, the qadr came and he started doing the actions of the people of the paradise and he went to the paradise. So you never know. And he said there will be a man who will do all the actions of the people of the Jannah. You think he's a righteous person, he's pious, he's been in the masjid, making salah, and he said then he'll come an arm's length or a bow's length from death and qadr will reach him and he'll start doing the actions of the people of the hellfire and he'll go to the hellfire. So this is an inspiration and a warning because you never know where you're going to go. That's why we say, Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Every day, Wallah, guide me to the Sirat al-Mustaqim because I don't know if I'm guided today. I don't know if I'll be guided tomorrow. So Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Guide me to the straight path. So it's a warning for those who think that they have the haqq already. Well, I'm Muslim, I'm guided, I'm cool, I got it locked and loaded. You don't know, right? And it's an inspiration for those that are doing wrong, right? Because they don't have to give up hope of the mercy of Allah because Allah's supposed to change it. It's all up to them if they change it. Because we have until the soul reaches the throat, right? We have until the soul reaches the throat for forgiveness. So no one, it's not over with anybody until that soul reaches the throat, meaning until they die. So you have all the way to the day that you die. Remember the other hadith of the man who killed 100 people, or shall I say, he killed 900 people. And then he went to a man and he said, look, I killed 99 people. I want to be forgiven. Is there any way of me being forgiven? Right? He went to this man and the man said, nah, man, you're going to hell. There is no forgiveness for you. So he killed him. So now he killed 100 people. Right? Then he still went on his journey. He said, man, I'm trying to find. And then a man told me, he said, there's a land over there where there's forgiveness of Tauheed. And Allah forgives all sins. So he started walking towards that path, or started walking towards that village. And on the way to that village, he died. So the angels of mercy and the angels of destruction or the angels of punishment, they were arguing over his soul. They said, no, man, he's wretched. He's going to go to the hellfire. He killed all these people. The other one said, no, he has mercy. He had the intention. So Allah said, whichever place that he's closest to, that would decide where he's going. So Allah in his rahmah, he made the distance to where he was going shorter than the distance that where he was coming from. So thus he was forgiven of all of his sins, just with the intent of changing his life. That's what killing 100 people. But he had the niyah. He had the intention of changing his life. He didn't even do anything yet. He just started walking towards that path. And Allah forgave him. Remember the hadith of the prostitute. She's a prostitute. And what happened? She came to a water well and she found a cat. Another hadith says a dog. And it was hungry. It was thirsty. So what did she do? She took her shoe off, put the shoe in the water, and fed the cat or fed the dog. And what happened? Allah said, for this small deed, Allah forgave her of all her sins. Just for feeding a cat that was thirsty, a prostitute. It didn't say that she made tawbah. It didn't say that she did a miraculous good deed. All she did was feed this cat. So we never know what it is that will save us, because Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. We should never doubt, or we should never downplay, or we should never try to put someone and lock them in a certain box, like, oh, they're going to the hellfire, because you never know. You never know what it is that Allah is going to do with you. You never know what Allah is going to do with the next person. That person could be better than you, right? You never know. It may not be better than you today, but at the end of the day, they might be better than you. So Allah says it is only those who disbelieve, who doubt the mercy of Allah. So this is believing in his names. I believe he's Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. I believe that he will forgive me. Right? But don't just bank on that forgiveness. You still got to work for it. You still got to move towards it. Then also his attributes. You believe in the oneness of his attributes. Right? Allah says that on the day of judgment, you will see the wajhillah. You'll see the face of Allah. Does it mean the face like our face? No. Allah says, Laysa kamithlihi shay. There's nothing like unto him. There's no comparison like to him. But we believe in the face of Allah because he said the face of Allah. But we understand that the face of Allah is not like our face. If Allah says the hand of Allah, right? We believe in that attribute of the hand of Allah, but we understand that the hand of Allah is not like our hands. It says that Allah will have the shin of Allah. Allah said it, we believe in it, but it's not like our shin. Okay? So we believe in his attributes, right? And we do like the Salaf did, and we say, man, hey, we have knowledge of it, but the understanding of it, we don't understand, but we don't delve into the things that we don't understand. We just believe in it. He said the face of Allah, we believe in the face of Allah. Is it like our face? It's not like our face, but we believe in the face of Allah. Right? Again, going back to the hadith, it says on the day of judgment that after Allah asked all the people that enter into the Jannah, into the paradise, after he given them all the beautiful gifts, all the beautiful fruits and all of these things, gold and goblets and wearing green silk and, you know, smelling like musk and all these things, and some people be able to fly and all these other things. After all of these beautiful things, having castles of gold and all these things and whatnot, Allah said, is there anything else that you need? And everybody would be so satisfied and so happy, man, we got everything. Ain't nothing else to ask for. Man, what else could we have? Man, you gave us everything. And then it says that Allah will remove his veil. He'll remove his hijab. And that's the word that it says. But is it a hijab like our hijab? No, it's not like our hijab. He said he'll remove the veil and they'll be able to see the wajhillah, which is the face of Allah. And that face of Allah will be more precious to them than everything that they already had been given in the Jannah. Okay? But do we say that face of Allah, that we'll start looking at a man that looks like us? No. It's something that we can't even understand or comprehend. But do we believe in the face of Allah? Yes, because he said the face of Allah. But it's not like our face. Laysa kamithlihi shay. The hand of Allah, we believe in the hand of Allah. We don't believe in 5 fingers and whatnot, but it's something that he describes so we can have some type of understanding of it. Okay? So these are the 3 aspects of Tauheed, you know what I'm saying, in a baby course, inshallah. So the first one we have Tauheed of Ruboobiyyah. The word of Ruboobiyyah comes from the word Rabb. Okay, and again we can use Surah Al-Fatiha as an example. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise is due to Allah. All praise, all thanks, all appreciation is to who? Allah, because he's Rabbil Alameen. He's the Lord, the fashioner of everything that exists. I have to give praise to him. I have to give thanks to him. I have to be appreciative because he did everything for me. He gave me height. He gave me whatever, wisdom. He gave me a tongue. He gave me eyes. He gave me ears. He gave me intellect. He gave me strength. Whatever he made, long hair, short hair, whatever it meant, Allah, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen. Okay? Then we have Tauheed Uloohiyyah, the oneness in his godship or his worship. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Only you, Allah, do we worship. Only you do we seek help and forgiveness. Only to you. We ask you. We need something, we ask you. We want something, we ask you. Right? We want to make dua, we ask you. We want to ask for forgiveness, we ask you. Right? We want to fast and certain things that he commands us to do. We do it. Why? Not because, somebody else made us do it. We do it because Allah said do it. Right? We humble ourselves, or we don't cuss and whatnot. Not because, I'm a square, or he don't cuss because he's a square. No, I'm not a square. I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is part of Tauheed Ruboobiyyah. I'm worshiping him like I'm supposed to worship, because I know the only purpose of me being here is because to worship him. So part of my worship is that, man, I gotta watch what I say. I gotta watch what I do. I gotta watch what I look like. I might, back in the Jahiliyyah, we used to watch whatever we wanted to watch. Man, I'm supposed to watch basketball. I'm supposed to watch reality shows. I'm supposed to watch Jerry Springer. You become a Muslim and you start submitting, it's like, man, I'm cool. Man, you ain't supposed to watch. Man, I'm cool. I ain't supposed to watch that. Oh man, they ain't got nothing to do with none of that. They ain't got to do with me being a Muslim, bro. They ain't got nothing about being square. They ain't got nothing to do none of that. It got to be because, man, I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only reason why I'm here is to worship him. And all this is just a test. You're just being tested with these things. This is Jahiliyyah. Either I'm going to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do what he says to do, or I'm going to follow the Jahiliyyah, and I'm going to have, this shirk, this worship, this idol worship with these people. Who's more important to me? Allah or watching, what's that show? What's that show? Love and Hip Hop. What's that other one with Terrence Howard and Empire. Yeah. Empire. I went to the piano and like, man, we watch Empire. I said, man, I ain't never seen none of that. Man, you ain't seen Empire? I said, man, I ain't watched one episode. Man, I don't watch TV outside like that. I don't be watching TV like that. I watched it when I was in the piano. It's right there. But I ain't never seen no Empire. Oh man, we watching the basketball or whatever. Man, they watching Love and Hip Hop. They got Love and Hip Hop in Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop in LA, Love and Hip Hop. I'm like, man, how many more they gonna come up with? I said, man, it's a rabbit hole. I said, I'm like, man, you guys, they get one, then they start another one, another. So now you count this, you count it. I said, man, you watch this stuff all day. And what are you watching? You're watching people being promiscuous. You're watching people that are lying. You're watching people that are drinking. You're watching people with the fake hair. You're watching people in the clubs. You're watching people having sex. You're watching people lying and cheating. What? So I'm watching that? So I advocate that, right? And I like that. But I'm supposed to be here worshiping Allah, but I'm a Muslim. Stop from Uloohiyyah. Right? We got to understand. That's that Jahiliyyah. So we got to remove that Jahiliyyah from our lives. We got to remove that Jahiliyyah from our heart. Right? Why? Because Allah created us only to worship him. That's it. Tauheed Uloohiyyah wa Ubudiyyah. That stuff don't become important to us no more. Jerry Springer ain't important no more. Now they got nothing but homosexuals on there. Man, what am I going to watch that for? That's chaos. Then we have Tauheed Asmaa wa Sifaat, believing in his names and attributes. He says he's Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Ghafur, Al-Wadud, Al-Forgiving, the most merciful, the most loving. I have to believe that. I can't say this person's going to hell. I can't say that this person, is bad. Or I can't believe that, I do a certain sin that God won't forgive me. I'm putting limitations on Allah's names. I can't do that. Right? Inshallah, be like, well, inshallah, Allah knows only well. But you can say, if they don't repent from that, then inshallah, they'll go to the hellfire. You can say that. Man, if they don't say la ilaha illallah Muhammad, if they don't stop doing that, man, inshallah, man, they might be in the hellfire. That's saying if they don't do certain things. But to say that, they're going to the hellfire, you don't know. There's another hadith where Umar bin Al-An, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when Allah created the heavens and the earth, and then he called all of the souls out of the sons of Adam, he grabbed into the back of Adam and he grabbed some of the souls of Adam with his right hand. He said, these are the people of the Jannah. Then he grabbed again, right, with his hand, and he said, these are the people of the hellfire, right? So it's already been decreed thousands of years before we even came into existence where we're going already. It's already been written down. So Umar, he was crying to the point that his beard became wet from crying. And so the Prophet Muhammad said, Ya Umar, Why are you praying? He said, because I don't know from what hand that Allah grabbed me from. I don't know. Right? Because he said that some people be doing good deeds and then right before they die, they go to the hellfire. He said, I don't know. He said, Ya Umar, don't fear, for you're from the people of the Jannah. Right? But we don't know. That's why we have to be fearful every day. You can't be just complacent. You can't just be, I got it. Like, you don't know. Allah might flip you. You don't know. That's why you have to be humble. Allah, ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, Ya Allah. Guide me to the sirat al-mustaqim. Guide me to the straight path, Ya Allah. Because I'm weak. I'm da'if. Allah says, khulq al-insan da'ifa. And verily we created mankind weak. Right? We're prone. Allah says we're prone to do evil. Your nafs, it is inclined to do evil. If Allah ain't with you, you're going to do evil. Period. Except by the rahmah of Allah. The only way that you won't be prone to evil if Allah is with you and He's bestowing His mercy upon you. How do you obtain Allah's rahmah and mercy? See Allah, wa Rasul, la'alakum turhamun. Obey Allah and obey the Prophet so that you may be of those who obtain Allah's rahmah. But if you're not in obedience to Allah, you're not in obedience to the Prophet Muhammad, you're not following the Sunnah, right? You're being disobedient. You have no rahmah from Allah. And if He doesn't bestow His rahmah on you, then what? You are inclined to you will do evil. Because you're weak. Because our nafs, right, is inclined to this dunya, this worldly life, the dirt. We want to go back to the dirt. The filth. But when you use that higher plane, when you use that intelligence, right, you use that wisdom that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you, then you come to a higher plane. You remove yourself from this dunya. You strive for the akhirah. You strive for the hereafter now. I don't care about this dunya. Oh man, you don't want to do it? Man, you can be doing it. Man, I'm cool. Man, you need to get back in the game, bro. Man, I'm cool. And again, we don't leave the game, or we don't leave the doing and this and that because we're soft, or we're busters, or we're suckers, or we got kicked out the game. Man, we left because, man, we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We choose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Umar, them brothers were soldiers. Them brothers was killers. Hamza, Khalid bin Walid, these brothers was, soldiers. Like I said, they had whorehouses and pimping and whatnot at the time of the Prophet. Man, they stopped all of that. They was gangbanging. They left all of that for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not because they were suckers, not because they was busters, not because they was weak, not because they wanted to be holier than thou, not because they were soft. Ain't nothing soft about a Muslim. Ain't nothing soft about Umar bin La'an. Ain't nothing soft about Ali bin La'an. Ain't nothing soft about Osama bin Zayd. Ain't nothing soft about Khalid bin Walid or Hamza. None of them brothers. They was not soft. Their brothers were soldiers. And they left everything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Same thing with us. Right? We do it because we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not because, man, anything else. We do it because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to do it. And if you really understand your concept of why you're here, then you'll do it for that reason as well, inshallah. So we believe in His names and we believe in His attributes, the hand of Allah, the face of Allah, alhamdulillah, this is just a little glimpse as to Tauheed.